what we have seen is China reacting pretty angrily to what they say was an overreaction by the US, shooting down that alleged spy balloon over the weekend. China has said that this was a civilian airship. It's being used for weather research, and it says that it got caught in a westerly wind and drifted astray. And so it has been slamming the US politicians and also media for really hyping this up. It continued to come out today reiterating that this had entered US airspace by accident, and it has also encouraged the US, urged it not to escalate tensions any further. But of course, we did see Tony Blinken's visit to China, of course, being postponed as a result of this saying that they undermined this trip. But the big question now is what will that mean, of course, for US-China relations moving forward? And so that is perhaps why we are seeing this sentiment today. I will just add, of course, something else we are looking at is the stimulus. This is something investors are eyeing very closely. We are, of course, tracking how China is trying to boost consumption, something it needs to rely on at the moment as it can't export its way out of its slowing growth at the moment. And what we are seeing is that reports are suggesting we're perhaps not likely to get any sort of big bang stimulus splashing out on big direct sort of consumer subsidies now, as it is going to perhaps be relying more on the old policy playbook of pump priming the economy, relying on infrastructure spending to really help those jobs, which will inevitably help that consumption. So maybe that is having an impact on some of those consumer stocks today. As you can see, we did see some nice gains for infrastructure, although that has lost some steam as we have seen this broader weakness in the market. Hadley.
Sam, the arc of this story is fascinating. I mean, you've got this thing on America's radar apparently for days before the administration made a move. Many Republicans now slamming the White House for failing to go more quickly, and the Chinese apparently laughing at us.
It's fascinating how this has been characterized by the US and in China, Hadley. You just take a look at Chinese social media over the last couple of days. Twitter like Weibo, for instance. Chinese citizens seemingly finding levity in all of this because they've been comparing this to a full moon or a giant rice ball because it's obviously Lantern Festival, which is something that, of course, they celebrate. It happened to happen over the weekend. There's also been some lines about this perhaps being called the Wandering Balloon because of the release of Wandering Earth 2, which is a movie that was released over in China as well. So, as I say, they have certainly found some humor in all of this, but of course, the US doesn't find this funny. As you mentioned, they are now searching for this debris to, of course, then research it, study it, and try to recover, which may obviously lead to some clues about this. But I think the thread that really merits pulling on now is where this leaves the US-China relationship, because, of course, Hadley, this weekend was meant to be all about trying to continue to find out ways to manage the relationship. But instead, it was about trading barbs and insults and accusations.